Okay, then let's go. Today we will make the placing function new because I think I messed it up at some point, and we are not able to place any object in the game anymore. And this is something what I would like to fix. Um, I can show you the current state. Actually, I think I'm not even able to place anything. Just tested with the bat, but I think nothing will work. Just create a new game. But I already fixed the bug with the trees, with the trees which are at the point which on a negative space. This seems like it's an all-over bug of Godot. It's something that I don't have influence of, so I just moved the whole map from and put the whole map to make it to the whole right place. Like everything is on a positive. Every tile is in a positive area right now. So I can just cut all trees in the whole map. There's no animation except the player animation, but no animation of the tree yet. But you are able to just do the trees. And right now you don't got anything yet. Maybe this is what I should add right now. That when you're harvesting that you will get at least loot. Okay, so we will just go to the object tile layer in the world scene. There we will go to object tile layer. Layers, arches, neos, pacos, faster. Nope, not that. Objects timeline layer. And here we have the trees. And I think I already added, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. We will go to tileset, select, and we'll click it. And we'll check in custom data. There we have an array of 3. Okay, we already added, but we just don't add the function yet. That will got something when we harvesting the tree. It will just disappear. So I think I have to check the script for space. Maybe it's easier when I just searching for the scripts and also for this one, find. Should be space. At least in global data. Space key. Okay, I called it space key. Okay, we have X. Custom data object equals tree return. Okay, if it's not tree, then we'll return. And when we have the X in our hand and it's not tree, we'll return. Here, create timer 1 timeout. Okay, the whole process will be 1, and then we set cell to to null. Okay, but we don't got the loot yet, so this is something what we should add to the inventory. Do we add it directly to the inventory? I think yes. Or do we just let it drop to the floor? What will feel better? I think we'll add it directly to the. So we say player.inventory append. No. Drop. Inventory data. Where is it? Should have pick up slot data full. Player. We need to do that with the toolbar, which is inventory data, and we say player dot toolbar. I think it's toolbar. Just check player, the player scene. this one. Here we have player scene. What is this? The root node of a scene is required to not be transformed. Well, but this is not what we want to know. We want to know toolbar data. So it should be toolbar data this way. I just have to say toolbar dot drop items no full pickup slot, and the slot data is for slot data in current object dot get custom data, and we should got tile set. The name of this one is object type, resource data, and resource amount. Okay. Okay. So global data. Loot. Resource. It is a slot data. Equals. And then now we will just this one. So we have slot data here. We just have to say slot data dot amount. We can call this one directly as slot data. Then we can check what we have here. Slot data dot amount quantity equals, and now we need to say, the thing is, resource amount is just an int, so we got same of each. So what it is in this case, 3. Okay, is that another isometric project? No, actually it's a top down. Top-down project, and it's still the farming RPG. Still the same game. How can you see tree from the side and top down? Actually, you see it. Okay, the view is a bit from top. Objects, time up. And you can see a bit from the behind, but not that much. The view is, if it would be directly from front, then this one would be way longer, maybe the double size. For platformers, it's okay. Those are not top-down assets, at least. Actually, it's up to the angle you see as top-down. I try to use a 45-degree angle for the sprites, for the assets I create. So as the trees are way higher from the angle than the player, is that you cannot see that much from behind here. So when you see a tree, so when you have like a front view, you'll maybe see some kind of this, and maybe here, this long, and you will not see anything from behind. But when you see something from top down, here would be the top part. You see a bit from here, but more from here. And this is repeated over and over again until the bottom. And from this very bottom part, you will not see that much. Also, and this one will be the top part. I would say that this trees there looks very much. I mean, you're right that this trees doesn't have much of this top down look. They looks very. They don't have a 45-degree angle. They'll have more likely a 20-degree angle. They could have more view from the top because here you don't see that much from there. But even I would add more to this place, it wouldn't change that much to the look like. When I compared to the style of other top-down games, this one, for example, maybe what I could do is to expand this one more to the bottom and then add more green here. So that it's more likely this way. would say this one is way too much from the top. Still isometric? This is not isometric. I haven't seen you in a long time, Mr. Evil. Hello, Mr. Evil. I remember you. Long, long time. I mean, top down is not this, where the tree is directly from the top, like in a 90-degree angle. This is top down for me. You can't see character from the side in top down. Are known for their top down perspective. Sure, okay. Okay, this is also top down. Okay, well, I mean, from the definition, this one is top down, and also Pokemon is top down. There's like 10 types of isometric graphics. Now, I mean, isometric is like that you have three. In isometric, you have 3 dimensions. And you watch at the sprites from a 40-degree, 45-degree angle to the tiles. This is what isometric is. Wait. Yeah, you remember me. How are you doing, brother? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Frogboy, why is everyone joining at the same time, lol? Maybe you got all the same notifications at the same time. Not necessary. Isometric perspective characteristics. Um, Isometric is a method of drawing 3D objects in 2 dimensions where all 3 axes, length, width, and height, are equally foreshortened, resulting in a consistent, non-distorted view. Key characteristics include parallel lines remaining parallel, no vanishing points, and all 3 axes displayed at 120 degree angles. Yes, this is what I also understand in isometric. That you create 3D objects and display them in a not right 2D perspective. I mean, with when you draw a box, you always do it this way. Most likely like this, that to the back, everything got smaller. So this line is shorter than this one, and this one is shorter than this one. This is a real perspective. I mean, maybe not that perfect here, but this line and this line always goes to one point right here somewhere. So this one and this one and this line goes to one point somewhere here. So, but isometric will make that this line and this line has the exact same angle. So you draw a box in the way which is actually in 3 dimension wrong, but technically easier to understand when you want something is I think it's more like a technical drawing of something. This one would be an isometric drawing of a box with a direct angle to this spot, whereas no perspective changing between the parallel lines. Characters of your game are based on which canvas size? 16 pixels by 16 pixels or 32 by 32? 32 by 32, but the yes, 32 by 32, most of the sprites. So what I want to do right now is that you can drop items, that they'll be added to your toolbar, actually to your inventory. So we do get every slot data from each tree. Slot data and current object to dot get custom data resource data. So we got this array and iterate over it and change the quantity to resource amount. And then we will add it to the player toolbar dot drop item no full pick up slot item pick up slot data full, and we say slot data, and then actually it should add everything to our inventory when we chop down a tree. Let's see. Yes, it's working perfectly. And the thing is, we did that. Wait. Oh, okay. Wait. We need to important duplicate the slot data. Otherwise, we can you send me the link in the in Whisper? I can see it. The bot is always hiding links. Custom data resource amount, pick up slot data. The slot data needs to be duplicated. Let's go. have to open Twitch. Yes, that's what I said before. That when you have this one, when you draw this one, this will be smaller than this, and this also will go like this rather than exactly same in isometric. But isometric will always show a 3D object in a 2D world. But I understand what you wanna say. Okay, well, okay, I got it. So rather than displaying the object in my world from this angle, I just displaying it this way from the front. Like I turn it on 45 degrees in this direction. All right, okay. When you will call it top down, when you will call it isometric, it's fine, but I would still call it top down as the idea was I wouldn't call Stardew Valley, for example, isometric game. Or neither I would call Pokemon isometric. It's closer to isometric than top down. Actually, it's something in between, I would say. Because top down is directly from the top. My game is from this perspective. And isometric is from maybe. Yeah, actually, when you say it this way, it seems to be right what you say. That you could call it isometric, but when just check what is the Pokemon called, for example, which is isometric in this logic, but in the all over, the people would say it's top down. Axonometric, no one will understand. That's true. But people are stupid. I mean, wait, is there also a. I need the link again. Axonometric. Third angle? I mean, actually, the thing is, why then Pokemon is called uh, top down? For example, I mean, Pokemon is just my example. Because people call it like this. And that's why I call mine like this. I need to check. Is. Grid from directly above, slightly offset to show walls and depth, sometimes called 2.5D. It's not truly isometric, there's no consistent 30-degree angle like in isometric art. No, I think I will first gen. Gen 1, top-down panel, not isometric. Here are the key details. The world is presented from a bird's eye view, slightly offset to show some wall and object depths. It's a 2D orthographic grid. Tiles are square and aligned vertically, horizontally. Buildings and objects may appear slightly angled, like the tops of trees or PCs, but that's just artistic shading, not perspective. Sprites don't follow any isometric rules like 30-degree angles or diamond-shaped tiles. Player moves strictly in 4 directions. This style is sometimes called top-down RPG view. Okay, well, okay, I understand the point. So I would say even with this, um, what I was reading before, I would call then my game also isometric game then. Because the difference between Pokemon and my game in the graphical points is that you still can be behind objects. Pokemon first generation, second and third generation, it may looks like that you see something from the um, front side, from the top side, but actually you see just only things from the front side. When they just make something looks like from the top, it just looks like that, but at the end you still have collision right here when here's just one tile, which plays, which was displayed as a roof, but it's actually a wall. So my game is then, I would say, isometric because you will have the 3-dimensional feeling of height and width and okay, I got it. But 30-degree angle. So when I have a tree which looks like this, let's say simple, and this is the tree. This is from the front view, maybe it looks like this. But when I want to have it in a 30-degree angle with the same height, at least this has to be from the top. But we'll see less from the bottom. Here you see nothing from the front. Here you see at least a bit. Game in between, like you said. I wonder what's the right term for it. Yeah, me also. That's a good question. I mean, in my sprites, I actually try to keep a 30-degree angle. So, which is one rule for sprites in isometric style, like demetric, demetric perspective, also known as demetric, is a type of axonometric projection in which two of the three principal axes are. Mm, okay, yes, I got it. Demetric makes sense. With a less top view than the bottom view. Isometric would be more likely that this one is same size. This here? Thanks for following. Thank you very much. Dimetric. Okay, dimetric. Because we have less view from the top. Yes, I got it. But diametric still turned 45 degrees, at least for the houses. I don't see them in this way. I see them more likely from the only the front and only the top. So actually, I see just two sides of an object. Guess cube is only for representation. Yes, that's true. This is just for the representation. If you just would it display, otherwise it wouldn't be. It's hard to understand it. Okay, but I got it. I got the point. Google diametric tree. Then I found this. That's actually the only thing what I find what is related to real trees. Tree sprite? Diametric tree sprite. Oh, I found this one. This is not. This is from the front. This they call isometric. I think the term diametric is not that popular in game sprites. This is somehow then the direction I see. That's why I called isometric. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I mean, I got it why you call it isometric. Based on which canvas? Size 16 by 3? Okay, this question. Um, where did I stop before? Oh, I was writing the drop function and it wasn't be added properly. Looks good anyway. Thank you. Did you also create games? I mean, what makes you be interested in this stream? Okay, this one 333 333 looks nice. Okay, it's working. We got items now. I'm doing some projects currently. Nice. What kind of games? But this is the problem of isometric. How do you know that you are aligned to tree, for example? Oh, you mean how I will actually? Um, wait, I can put a grid on top. That's where top down wins for me. Ah, okay. Hmm. It's really hard to tell the dimensions here. I mean, that you. Okay, the align is also a bit weird in my game, to be honest. The sprite has to be a bit higher, I think. This one is too much to the bottom. Has to be higher. At least like 7 pixels or 8 pixels. Otherwise, with top down, it's super easy. Yeah, but with a top down, I had. With top down, you can't do this, for example. Most likely, this part of the house, you will just hit the here. Super hard, in my opinion. Yes, you can think it all over the whole time over and over again. Maybe you will just overthink it before you even start. I already redraw the trees. They looks way more from the front perspective before. So I already tilt them a bit so that you can see a bit from the top. Maybe it could tilt them a bit more that you can see much more from the top. Um, Things like trees and everything is very hard for me, to be honest. Houses is a bit easier because they have like straight lines. So you can easily say, okay, the roof is until here and the walls until here. This is way easier to say than when you do that for um, organic objects, in my opinion, especially trees. I mean, for single player PvE game, it doesn't matter, but if game has PvP, this is where hell begins. Yes, especially, I mean, there's a good example in um, League of Legends. Did you know that sometimes you are higher at some spots on the map and sometimes you are lower? So when you just want to shoot your um, spells in some direction, then it's visually it looks like you will hit, but in the world you just hit like beside the enemy. There are some points on the map where this happens because they are higher and lower, but and visually you will not see it. You just hit them. You will just not hit them. Isn't LOL 3D? I mean, you watch to the game just in one perspective. Yes, it is 3D, but you have just one camera angle. So the when the camera angle is fixed, I think it still have 2.5D characteristics. So it's like a 3D world, but when you have just one camera angle, it feels 2D. But I think, I mean, it is 3D, but not sure how to explain. I mean, it is 3D, I think. When you, the, it's generally considered an isometric game, which is a type of 3D game. Okay, League of Legends is an isometric game. This is at least the definition of Gemini. So I think it's then a good example. So I think when you see a game, a 3D world just in one perspective, I think it's up to when you can change the camera, I would say it's fully 3D. But I'm not sure if in League of Legends they draw every asset. At least, I mean, I know the champions are like 3D objects. But maybe the map you can see just from one angle. It makes sense. When you would watch it from the other angle, I think that maybe it could be that there are no sprites. They looks weird. they're just one colored. I'm not sure about that. I'm not that deep in game. Dota you can rotate camera. Okay, in League of Legends you can't. But I never played Dota also, so I cannot talk about Dota. But then Dota I would call then a truly 3D game. I have to check something. If I chop down the trees when I stop pressing spacebar, that I just need to press spacebar once. I think right now, yes. I can have to do just this. Okay, but I can't move. It's fine. The point is, if you want 2D shooter, you can only see two sides at the same time. As soon as you make it isometric, it will be shit. Yes, a top-down shooter. I would do just the walls will be walls. So at the point that when this wall you can hide behind, it's already isometric. Top-down or platformer. Okay, yes, platformer would also work. Like, I mean, when I grew up, we played T-World in school. So this is kind of a 2D kind of. Now maybe capture the flag. Soon as you add third angle, it's rip. Yes. We can harvesting trees properly now. But the trees are not at that point on the tile which I would like. Tree. Need the tree tile set. Textures, tree. Tree sprite sheet. Open with external program. Oh, but I don't have that much space to the top here. Um, for example, mushrooms and tree, they look in different styles. Let me check. The problem with assets is if I would start a new game again, I will do the assets at the very, very last step. As over when you create a game from it with I'm working on this game already like 3 years. So when you start to create the first sprites after like a half year, then you start to create sprites again 1 year later, then your style already changed and also the perspective will change. Room's almost top down and trees from side. It looks strange to me. I mean, I get the point. But the thing is, to make uh, to make this looks more from the top side, I have to do something like this then. Just try. I see it more from the top and also here. More likely like this. Maybe even bigger. I would like to sketch it out now. Or else it would be in the same style. I mean, you should decide which pattern and angle you want. Yeah, but the thing is, different sizes, like a mushroom is maybe this size. And a tree will be like 100 times the size. So when you're watching on the mushroom from the same angle, like this, this is like 30-degree, then you will see most likely only the top from a mushroom and just a bit from the bottom. But when you watch from the same angle to a tree, let's say from up here, you still, it's up to how high the camera is also. Only way I could see something from behind is when I'm watching really from like here. That I see more from this part of the tree. When I have the angle like 30-degree or like 45-degree, to see something from behind the tree is not that much. This angle will also see just this part of the tree and then a bit of the almost nothing from this anymore. Yep, that's why it's hard to do isometric. So, and the point is actually that you cannot see this one anymore. You shouldn't be able to see this. 2D is harder than 3D, I think. Yes, this is also what I think. Do you know I have to create just to animate my character, which you just see also here. This is like a simplified version of the character of my game. But only for that the player is moving the way how it's moving right now. I have to create around about 700 different sprites. In 3D, you create one model for your character. You just have to create one animation for running, one animation for walking, one animation for whatever chopping the tree, and that's it. In 2D, I have a 8-directional movement. So I have to do them in x-axis, y-axis, and also the tilted versions. So I have 8 sprites, and this multiplied by 4, and then multiplied by the each part for shirt, pants, shoes, hair, body. So I end up with like 800 in platformer 2. Yes, I mean 2D actually is, I think the um visual part will take maybe longer, but I'm not sure how long it takes to just create a 3D model. And animations. Yes, animations is also a point. Oh, yeah. So I have 4 sprites for each animation in 8 directions. I have running, walking, farming, and idle I don't animate. So I have at least 3 different kind of animations which I have to create for 8 directions. So this is already 24 sprites, and we don't even animate it yet. And then 4 each. I end up with around about 106 sprites I have to create just for the body. Then I animate the hair as a single sprite, and then I animate the shirt, the pants, the shoes, and pants, hair, shoe, eyes, body. Let's see. I don't even need animations. My tutorial, I just make look at mouse position and that's it. I don't even need animations. Oh, that's also true, yes. Look at is a very nice function for top downs. Actually, I'm not able to see any of this, right? I should be able just to see only. I think this will looks weird for me. Okay, it's actually. Uh, I just do sketch it right now. I just make it better later. Somehow. And also I should see here more. DM, but it's pure top down. Ah, yes. That's pure top down. This I would understand if I would do it here. This could be used. Only this could be top down. Pixels missing. And so on. I have to do it here this way. Your game looks like almost finished. Too late to switch perspective, I think. Um, yes, I just want to try this out right now. Because I'm a bit. I mean, I get your point. Just want to check it out. Maybe I just do the right side and the left side I just keep as it was before. Did you play Darkwood? It's first game, so a good example. Darkwood? No, I didn't play it. Dark wood. Game. Okay, this is top down. This is pure top down. No angle in the camera, just top down. Also, I don't know any farming game with pure top down, so may be interesting. A farm game with pure top down. That's true. Me neither. I can't think about one which is pure top down. Um, I just try it out right now, how it would looks like if I change the perspective slightly to that what I would understand right now for the perspective what it's supposed to have. More, I would say. Uh, is Gross the final name for your game? Actually, it was, but then I figured out that there are several games with this name. But kind of. There are at least two unreleased games with same name on Steam. There are also released games with the same name on Steam. Mine should be also listed as unreleased game. this way. Oh, wishlisted. Thank you very much. Assets look super cute. You make bank with this game, and next one will be even better. And next one is already just created at the moment. But just this is I create offline, and it's also not with pixel art. It's made with vector art. But this is still. I mean, it's even the progress is even further than this one. I feel more like it will. I think this will even release before this one. But this is not a single project. This one is a completely single project. The other work together. Um, thank you very much for the wish list. It's kind of the perspective, but it's still from the side. It's still from the side. Maybe it has to be like get smaller to this. Something like this perspective. I think this one kind of. Kind of this way. I think the easiest way to make top-down asset is just to make 3D one and screenshot it from top. Actually, yes, that's a good point. Or create like 3D models and then just not even photograph them, just instantiate them in 3D to your game. And then you just let your camera fixed on one angle. Then you even have the chance to make it 2.5. It's called 2.5D. Even if sounds not like a real perspective. But I think this would make it way easier, even with light and shadow. Did you ever try to put light and shadow in the isometric world? It's impossible. This kind of the perspective. Discord closed? Actually not. It's still there, but very, very, very inactive. I actually do not have much time to take care of it. I would like to have more time to take care of it. Um, yeah, I would speedrun release. What do you mean? With speedrun release? Release as soon as possible. Maybe then improve assets if feedback is about them. Oh, okay. Yes, okay, I get it. But the problem is, I would like to release a version of the game where I would be happy to not have to fix that many bugs afterwards, because I think this will completely stressed. So right now I was about to just fix bugs. Just delete this one. This is more like the angle you would expect, I would say. Let's see. New game. Start. And even. Oh, you are doing Godot tutorials too? Nice. Yes, I do. In English and in German. But the German channel is a bit inactive. Okay, there's a good reason why I see the stem of the stump. Ja, mein Deutsch ist nicht gut sowieso. From where are you that you can speak at least a bit of German? I live in Germany. Nice. This is kind of the perspective, right? Are you working there or are you studying there? Nice. And from where are you? If I'm allowed to ask. I mean, okay, you live there in Germany, in Bavaria, okay. And from where are you originally? This tree is easier to align to, so. Yeah, and I also had the feeling before that I kind of like this more, to be honest. Hmm. But it's less artistic, I guess. Yeah, of course. Just try to make it less. Previous one looks spooky. Which one? Current one is chill or something. Okay, I mean, yeah, this I got. Okay. Maybe I even go with this perspective then. Just need to make the sprite a bit better. Um, Important is how it feels in the game. And do you have situations when something grows behind tree? Yes, I do, but I have a function which, when the player is, for example, walking at this part of the tree, I mean, at the moment it's like he can't walk. So when he is at one point at this part here, it will make the tree has a lower, will be, wait, a lower opacity. So when the player is walking behind the tree, transparency. Yes, transparency, opacity. The thing is, right now, this function is not working because I have to patch it out. I had, before I was loading the whole world with like 24,000 nodes. Because each tree and each mushroom you saw before in this map was one, was minimum 3 until 12 nodes. And then I creating them to the world, and this makes the game very laggy. So I just decided to make the trees, the mushrooms, the scraps, and and the grass, which is on the ground and will spawn at the beginning of the game, on one tile map layer. So I just have to create one node, but have almost the whole functionalities. I just need to find a way how to detect the player on the tile map layer and make the sprite which is underneath transparent. But I think it's not that hard. I think it's just a bit of thinking. I didn't thought about a solution yet for this. How did you learn to get to this point? Um, just by doing. I actually just this is my first game which I ever start in my life, so it's also my first programming. What I did in my life. So I just start doing it and then got further and further into it. And then I just, after a few years of failed, trying and failing and doing and successful, at least with that what I want to do, then I just come to this point to can do at least a game which is a bit playable. So you didn't know anything before? Yes. I studied media design, so I kind of have a bit of um, understanding of color, perspective, not isometric that much because I learned just like the real perspective, it's the 2 point perspectives. This is what I learned 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. But this one I didn't learn because I was learning real perspectives. And that's why I had a bit of knowledge from, but pixel art I don't. It's my first game where I use pixel arts also. Um, and game development is something new to me, even programming in general. Damn, everything looks very good for someone previous without experience. Thank you. Try my best to improve every time. But I also have to say I'm working almost, I mean, not on this game anymore, but there was a time, or at least like 1.5 years, where I worked daily, at least for an hour, on game development. Even some days, 6 hours, some days 8 hours. There was even a 24-hour stream what I did. So sometimes I spend even more time. Most of the time I spend really daily with game development. I didn't have any release yet, but I spend a lot of time for this. Trying to, but losing motivation as soon as I'm getting to UI and courses. Um, okay, well, courses I never use, to be honest. So I do not know how it is with learning with courses. Not sure how fast I would lose the motivation at this. The thing is, when I need something in my game, I just add it. So I didn't even thought about to create a menu at the beginning of the process for my game. I just added it later on, but this causes a lot of problems with globals, which I just thought. So when I just have a start screen, I just messed around everything. There's a lot of things what I learned from just doing it wrong. For example, I want to make colonize sim game, but I have no idea how to even start. Um, Start with the GDD. It will help you a lot and it will make you save a lot of time and save you from doing refactoring. I mean, not 100%, but most you will save a lot of time later on. I would start with GDD, make a whole concept of the whole game. Otherwise, you will end up like me in this game. You start to create a game. Okay, it will be a farming game. Okay, I want to planting plants. Okay, now I want to also that the player can decorate. I want to have animals, I want to have NPCs, I want to have loot boxes in form of clams and trash bags and so on. And I also want to have um, now I added I added automation function. So you just can connect several machines in the game to automate a whole process to make from apples. You can make from the apples, you can do seeds, or you will just make them to be juice or whatever, and it will automatically go to your chest system. So just think before that you have all the functionalities what you want, and then don't maybe do a little bit more, but not much more. We're watching this one right now, the result, and then I think I need to go offline. Just check very quickly, just start a game. And we have this tree here, and we have this tree there. We have a better place where we can compare both. This one and this one. Um, I think this one looks a bit too round. Do not know how to explain, but it should be something between this and this. But the perspective, I think, is a bit better. But they are very. This tree looks small. So actually, that was it for today's stream. I hopefully see you in the next stream again. If you want to support me, you can just wishlist this game on Steam. This will help me a lot. Here's the link. And if you want to join again, then I'll be here almost every Friday, maybe sometimes on another days, but every Friday I'm here and streaming how I work on this game. Thanks to everyone who was watching. Thank you very much. Have a great day or night or evening or whatever time it is where you are right now. And take care, everyone. See you, Stella.